A breakthrough discovery and probably one of the biggest in the last few hundred years.
Drones can sometimes capture the strangest and most marvelous stuff. Today, we will be looking at some of the most interesting finds by drones. Get ready to be scared, excited, and fascinated at the same time. Reindeer Circle. This drone video is of a group of reindeer who are forming a tight, spinning circle. They move together in a way that creates a swirling motion that makes it hard for predators to focus on any one of them, especially the young ones in the middle. Pretty clever, I would say. Clown. Imagine you go out to film a drone shot and you find something creepy. This is what happened on October 2016. A drone enthusiast went to Huntsville to film a sprawling cornfield. The video starts with calm and peaceful shots of the field. As the drone is in the middle of the cornfield, a strange figure looking at the drone is caught. At first it looks like a scarecrow, but soon it's clear it's a person wearing an orange t-shirt and a creepy clown mask. He gets shocked by the drone, and the clown quickly runs off into the thick forest nearby. A relaxing filming session turned into a strange encounter real quick. Largest cemetery. This drone footage is of one of the largest cemeteries in the world. This is called Wadi al-Salam, a Muslim cemetery in the holy city of Najaf. This ground is sacred as it has been a burial site for thousands of years. Covering 1,500 acres, almost 6,000 square kilometers. It holds millions of graves and takes up nearly 30% of Najaf's total area. This big and really old cemetery shows how people have been honoring their beliefs for hundreds of years. Bears and dogs. Ever witnessed a friendship between dogs and bears? It can be quite surprising. We usually don't see such interactions, but have a look at this old drone footage from October 2007, which captures some huskies playing with adult wild bears. These bears behave as though the huskies are their own cubs, showing a unique bond. The only conclusion we have is that these bears aren't hungry, which formed this unusual relationship. Freighter sinks to become artificial reef. Have a look at this freighter sinking into the ocean, which is surrounded by over 200 boats. This 180-foot-long ship was captured during a raid in Miami in 2018, but now is part of an artificial reef and has a new purpose. To increase tourism, artificial reefs are made. These create new homes for marine life. The sinking of this freighter was part of Florida's plan to make more underwater attractions. They added weights to it and pumped water into it to make it sink. Special boats helped guide it down slowly to the ocean floor, where it would become a new habitat. This planned sinking helps the environment and makes for awesome diving sites. Corvette Museum sinkhole disaster. Something happened at a museum in Kentucky. This museum is dedicated to the Chevrolet Corvette, a beloved American sports car that's been turning heads for over 60 years. This museum, which celebrates the history of the Corvette, sadly experienced a big disaster when a sinkhole opened under it. The sinkhole was about 100 feet deep and 30 feet wide. It swallowed many classic Corvettes that were on display. This whole video, caught on a drone, shows these valuable cars falling. Thankfully, there were no visitors or staff when the collapse happened, so no one was hurt. Presidential heads. Imagine you're on a farm and you see statues of the US presidents. Creepy, right? This scene is from a farm in Virginia. The drone captured 43 huge statues of US presidents' heads all over the field. It is the owner's dream to turn these statues into a museum in the future. At the moment, the farm looks unreal and a bit spooky with these massive presidential heads lying around. Giant graffiti. This beautiful drone footage shows a different kind of art. Guillaume Negret, known as Sape, is the man who has taken land art to a whole new level. We can see how he combines urban and land art by spray painting ultra-realistic images of local people directly onto grass using his own eco-friendly paint. So the special thing about Sepi is that he does things a bit differently. Instead of carving stuff into the land or using natural things, he creates these huge murals on fields and mountains. But here's the catch. They don't stick around forever. They fade away after a few months because of the grass growing back, weather changes, and people walking on them. Sepi's latest project is his most ambitious yet. He's painting a bunch of hands, all linked together right on lawns. These artworks are going to be really big, covering hundreds of square feet. And he is planning to do it in cities all over the globe for the next 3 years. Ship graveyard. There are so many things in the world that people can't ever witness, but thanks to drones, we can now witness these things from the comfort of our homes. One of those things is the waters of La Plata Bay in Uruguay, which is a ship graveyard. Yes, you heard it right. This place is the final resting place for multiple ships that met their doom in these waters. Back in the 1500s, Spanish ships carried gold through La Plata Bay a lot. But big storms and pirates sank many of them. Now, those sunken ships are like a history museum underwater. The video shows different kinds of wrecked ships, some hiding gold and silver coins, and others are just old fishing boats. They all got wrecked here by the angry ocean. Would you go treasure diving here? Life in the Sud marshland. This massive machine was all set to change the course of a river from one country to another, but it was all brought to a quick halt. This huge bucket wheel excavator was working on changing the course of a river from Sud to Egypt. But then the people seemed to have had enough of the Khartoum regime in the region. They rose in revolt, and this whole project was abandoned. Now, this huge excavator lies abandoned, out in the middle of nowhere. Chimpanzee knocks down drone. This guy in the Netherlands wanted some cool videos of chimpanzees and decided to fly his drone to capture them. He got a little too close, and one of the chimps didn't like it. The chimp knocked the drone out of the sky. The chimp wasn't done. He went forward, picked up the drone, and took a selfie with it. This video shows just how smart these animals can be. Drone helped 6-year-old rescue. On September 2022, a 6-year-old got lost in the woods at night. This made the whole situation very scary, but luckily, police officers use a thermal camera on a drone to find him. After looking around for a bit, the drone spotted a warm spot deep in the forest. Because of the drone, the rescuers were able to find the boy fast. Luckily, he was okay and in good shape. Close call with sharks in Sydney. A drone captured something straight out of a shark movie. A group of swimmers were swimming, but little did they know a few meters away from them, some sharks were lurking. The sharks had cleverly hidden themselves within a massive school of Australian salmon. Did these guys even know there were sharks so close by? Judging by how calm they are, probably not. Strange encounter in the woods. 4 people were trying to get their drone back from a tree when things got strange. They saw something weird on the drone. It wasn't a bear or any animal they knew. Curious and a bit scared, they decided to use their drone to film the strange creature. As the drone got closer, they saw a weird, hairless, pale thing moving on all 4s and digging into the ground. It didn't look like any animal or person they'd seen before and seemed to be searching for something. The haunting beauty of Pripyat. The drone footage shows Pripyat, a city in Ukraine, looking calm and snowy. But there's a scary story behind it. This place was where the worst nuclear accident ever happened, on April 26, 1986, at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. As the drone flies over the city, you see a ghost town, lots of buildings and factories, but no people around. The places you can see are filled with harmful radiation, so people can't live there anymore. But nature is reclaiming Pripyat bit by bit. Even though people can't live there, wildlife is flourishing. Life is gradually coming back to this area that was once devastated, but it will be a while before people can live there again. A city in ruins. On August 2015, there were two huge explosions at an industrial facility in Tianjin, a city in China. The second explosion was really bad, like setting off about 800 tons of ammonium nitrate, which is like over 250 tons of dynamite exploding. This blast caused uncontrollable fires, which led to 8 more explosions over the next 3 days. The main problem in this disaster was a warehouse that had dangerous chemicals like calcium carbide, sodium nitrate, and potassium nitrate. The people in charge didn't follow important safety rules, and the people living in the city didn't know about the big danger coming their way. This drone video after the explosion shows how much damage was done. You can see metal all twisted up, buildings smashed to pieces, and smoke still coming out of the mess. The explosion was so big that it could be seen from space, and the shock waves broke windows miles away. Horse rescue near Chester Meadows. This intense video shows a dramatic rescue when the River Dee overflowed near Chester Meadows due to heavy rain. 4 horses got stuck in the rising floodwaters, and it was a scary situation for them. A person who lived nearby called for help, and a guy named Jeff bravely jumped into action. For 40 minutes, Jeff worked really hard, using special tools to cut chains and open a gate. One of the horses had been stuck in the cold water for 7 hours, feeling scared and super tired. Thanks to Jeff's efforts, the horses could finally get out of there. The relieved horse dashed to safety on dry land and started munching on grass, which was a happy ending to their scary experience. Moose versus wolf. Moose are not only good swimmers, but they can also walk easily in shallow water because they're tall and strong. This helps them escape from predators that can't swim as well. A cool drone video near a lake in Ontario, Canada, shows this happening. In the video, you can see a moose standing in shallow water when suddenly a wolf jumps out of the bushes. At first, the moose tries to protect itself by kicking the wolf, but the wolf grabs onto the moose's leg with its strong jaws. They fight hard, swimming in circles in the water for about a minute. Finally, the moose manages to shake the wolf off. After a short pause, the wolf gives up and swims away, feeling defeated. DIY space glider. NASA frequently posts beautiful photos of Earth, and every photo costs millions. However, a guy by the name David Winterstall managed to achieve something nearly as great for a much lower price. He shared a video of his RC glider flying to space, going as high as 100,000 feet and then returning to land. David used a weather balloon, which he bought from an army surplus, and filled it with hydrogen, since it was cheaper than helium to lift the glider. A sports camera was fixed to the glider for better quality footage of the entire journey. It was not easy constructing the space glider. He made sure that the electronics and batteries would not freeze as they went up in space. However, the camera provided an excellent view of the entire journey. Still, the mission was not without some hitches, but the footage it caught is incredible to say the least. Moose antlers in the snow. In a snowy forest, a drone caught something every hunter hopes for, a big male moose wandering around. But here's the kicker. Out of nowhere, the moose shook its head, and its huge antlers fell off, landing perfectly on each side of it. This super rare and amazing moment was all caught on camera. Crocodile versus drone. This nosy crocodile sees a drone flying above its home. It tries hard to grab it, but can't quite reach it in the end. Thousands of green sea turtles. Check this out. Researchers used a drone to film thousands of green sea turtles gathering at the Australian Great Barrier Reef for their nesting season. These turtles, famous for traveling far, hang out in big groups near Rain Island, about 385 miles northwest of Cairns. But here's the thing. This drone is doing this for a purpose. Green turtles have a lot of problems to deal with, like people stealing their eggs, getting stuck in fishing gear, being hunted, and losing their homes. To keep them safe, scientists use drones to watch over them from up high. This helps them see what the turtles are up to and how many there are. They spotted around 64,000 turtles during nesting season. Researchers also use fancy technology to count the turtles in the video, which helps them keep track of how many there are. Massive marijuana plantation discovered in Mexican desert. Picture this. You're flying over a huge, dry Mexican desert, and out of nowhere, you see something weird sticking out from all the sand. It turns out this mysterious spot is actually a massive marijuana farm, cleverly hidden under black cloth in the Baja California desert. Stretching across about 300 acres, this is the biggest marijuana farm ever found in Mexico. It's about 4 times larger than any other farms that authorities have found before. Usually, farmers use a black cloth to shield their crops from the hot sun, so stumbling upon such a huge setup in a remote area was totally surprising. As you can guess, a raid followed, and 60 workers were found taking care of the plants. It was a really fancy setup, with special pipes to water the plants. But what's even more surprising, they discovered a bunch of tunnels over 2,000 feet long, connecting Santiago with Mexico. Sleeping elephants. Have a look at these elephants. Don't they look dead? They are actually just asleep. This scene from China's Yunnan province shows a large herd of elephants resting under the trees. The video is especially fascinating because it's rare to see elephants sleeping. Watching these huge creatures peacefully sleeping and then waking up to continue their journey offers a unique and intimate look at their natural behavior. This shows that these giants have a gentle side as well that we don't get to see. Discovery of isolated tribe. While using drones to check out the Amazon rainforest, a Brazilian agency found something incredible: a hidden tribe living deep in the forest. These tribes have no idea about the modern world and were spotted moving around the jungle with bows and arrows, ready to protect themselves from animals. The video from 2018 showed 16 people from this tribe. Experts think there might be around 100 more groups like this living in Brazil's huge rainforest, completely untouched by modern life. Drone captures flock of geese in flight. This drone shot shows a flock of wild geese. All of them took off at once in a perfect way. It was not all smooth flying, though. Some of the birds hit the poor drone here. Still, what a nice view to see them all take off like that. That is it for today's video. We will see you in the next one. Make sure to let us know in the comments down below which one of these drone footage was your favorite. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Until next time, goodbye.